Hello, everyone. This is Natalie, aka the handler of Handled by Natalie. I'm so excited. I just got off of a domestic violence workshop. It was hosted by the South Carolina chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So if you see any of those beautiful ladies out, just make sure that you give them a thumbs up. Tell them that they're doing a really good job. um, I'm not sure about the quality of the video. I think I'm using my computer camera. I may need to change it out at some point. But I just wanted to come and share some of the same tips with you that I shared with them as far as finding a job and some of the resources. And what I highlighted to them is that this is a collaborative process. You cannot go at it alone. I wouldn't try it. I don't recommend it. Um, and what I mean is you don't actually have to hire a professional, but if you do, the handler is available, but you need a support system. Um, and if you don't have people you can count on, or in conjunction with the people that you can count on, there's several things that you can do with technology. There are apps. One free app is called Think Up. You can use it to record daily affirmations to remind yourself of how awesome you are, that you can do it. You are going to get the job. You are going to accomplish the task. And let's say you don't feel like recording your own affirmations. They also have some pre-recorded affirmations that you can utilize. Get some scriptures, get some quotes, um, get some prayers, just something so that you can continue to be motivated as you are searching for that employment opportunity. The plan is to get a job, but we need a strategy, right? We need the ABCs of how we're going to get the job. So the first thing I recommend is that you get organized. And I say that because it's what you really need. I would recommend getting some folders, and like I have some really nice portfolio pieces with the nice resume paper. And I also have some that are a little bit more economical. I think I paid like 15 cents for them. I load up on them when the supplies are on sale for school. I like them. I always recommend to my clients that they put the resume on this side, and that they have something to write on paper on that side in case they want to take notes coming up to an interview, or so that they have everything in one place. They're not scattered all over the place when they're trying to find um, the note they took about this job. Get organized first, and just take on the responsibility and accept the fact that you're going to have to do some work. You are going to put into this what you get out of it. So make sure that you already have it set in your mind. In order for me to get that job, to get that career, to open that business, I've got to put in the work, and it takes me getting organized, and I must have a support system. I even recommend a playlist of songs. Um, I love the Lord, but I have the instrumental version of Rick Ross. I'm pushing it. Sometimes I just need that. Woo, woo, woo. Go get them. Go get them. I just need that go get them. So I don't want to go back there now, but I just need to go get them. So I have a song list for different types of emotions that I need to address. Then I recommend that you take in a self assessment. So under the assessment, what do you bring to the table, and what are you going to eat from the table? What are you going to take from the table? What is it that you need? Be honest with yourself. Do you want to be a nurse and you don't have a high school education? Now, I believe that you can do anything with the power of God. God will do anything but fail. The likelihood of you getting a job as a nurse would be a miracle. Um, it can be done, but I would recommend that you get some training. So, for example, you don't have a high school diploma, so you know you need your GED. So you get a job, but while you're working, you get your GED. When you get your GED, you get your CNA. And there's so many private schools right now. Possibly you can call them. I would call them, especially if they teach CNA classes, medical assistant classes, things like that, and ask them if they have any programs, and if I meet the qualifications for those programs, can I go and not pay anything? Because if you qualify for it, take advantage of it. I told them the story of how when I was in college, I was a food stamp queen. When my food stamps came on my card at 1201, I was in Walmart and I spent every last one of them. And then as other people, especially those who came to the same school that I went to, as they came from my hometown, I would tell them what they needed to do in order to get food stamps. We qualified, it's a resource. Don't be embarrassed because your mama paid taxes, your grandma paid taxes, your granddad paid taxes. You at some point will pay taxes or have paid taxes. So if you qualify for it, take advantage of it. Um, so what jobs are trending right now? And we're going to go back to the assessment, but I just want you to know the medical field, health aide, CNA, nurses, commercial truck drivers, construction workers, software developers, financial planners and advisors, customer service. If you have the wherewithal to be a customer service agent, I'm sorry, stay on the phone, take a phone call, do it. All of us ain't made for that. I ain't built for that. I've done it. And I decided I don't want to do it again. I made that choice and I'm gonna stick to it. If the Lord send me back, I'm gonna do it. But I don't think He's gonna send me back. Hallelujah, Jesus. Now I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but not everyone has a personality for it. Okay. Um, Another thing I want you to be cognizant of is when you're doing that assessment is it's okay. If you want to go into a certain industry to contact that employer, contact that HR coordinator, the technician. You might not get the director, but find out what they're hiring for. If they're going to have positions open, if they have a career development path that you can take advantage of. If I come here with no training or little training or haven't completed training, is it possible that you'll pay to send me to school? Will you train me? Those are the types of questions that you can feel free to answer them because most employers have something in place, especially like in the medical field, even in the education field. Make sure you take advantage of those resources. Then there are also online assessments. When I went to Georgia Southern University, I was going to be a reporter on the beat. I was going to write all the greatest articles, and then I was gonna get into broadcast television, and I was gonna ask those hard hitting questions like Oprah. And then I realized that I ain't finna run nobody down for no interview. That ain't what I do. So I took a personality assessment, and it pointed me to the area of public relations, and I have been able to utilize that degree to work for the government. Um, I have been a teacher. I have been a trainer. I have been a marketing assistant. I have been a community organizer. I do have a master's in public administration as well, but that degree has opened so many doors for me. I've worked on political campaigns. So just take an assessment and utilize those online assessments to help point you into the direction that you need to go in case you don't know, because it takes into accountability your personality and your skills as well. Then take advantage of your resources. A lot of the resources not only assist with employment, but they also help you meet their needs in other areas. For example, South Carolina and Georgia has Voc Rehab. So if you have a disability, they will advocate for you. They're going to help you search for jobs. They're going to help you get some interview skills. They will probably contract out your resume services. Um, and they're going to help you with retention. They help alleviate certain barriers as well. Take advantage of those services. Also, contact your local DFACS office, see what's available. Contact unemployment, find out what's available. Go to their website. And then you have community resources and you have your faith based resources. I know in the Augusta area, they have the Salvation Army, who has a wonderful job skills program, and you get 4 or 5 certifications from that program in itself, and they also have a GD program. And I would assume that other Salvation Armies have something similar or resources that they can point you into the direction of. So, and some of these resources will actually help you with transportation, especially if you live on the bus line. And I know, like when I worked at a private college, we would give out tokens for the bus for the whole term, 7 days a week. So not just the day that they had class, any day, anytime the buses were running, they were able to take advantage of those. So again, you are addressing a need, um, and more than one need, to be honest, from several organizations or one organization. Then I want you to sit down and I want you to start conducting your employment search. You're going to go online, and you're going to look at Indeed, and you're going to get the recruiter's information, 1 or 2 sources. You're going to look at ZipRecruiter, Monster, the unemployment website, LinkedIn, and then go to specific industries like the hospital and the school system, and see what they have available as well. Then you're going to pick up your phone and you're going to make some phone calls. If you didn't see the contact information online, find out who do you contact about that job so that you can follow up once you apply for it. And then sometimes just the most old fashioned things, they still work. They just require a lot of effort sometimes. Go knock on some doors. apply COVID restrictions, but there are still some companies that would love for you to come ring their bell to find out what they have in place. And there are a lot of companies that are convicted felon friendly. Commercial truck driving is an industry. You just have to work with if your parole officer, your probation officer. Now, I do work with returning citizens and those who have convictions as well. And we're trying to knock down some glass ceilings in that area, so that we can make sure they're productive citizens, that they can take care of themselves, their families. If they have a child support order, they can take care of that. They can pay their parole fees, but they cannot do it without employment. So we just want to make sure that we're helping them to address those needs as well. And then we're going to talk about the resume. We have several types, chronological, starting with the most recent experience. Some people do it in reverse. I don't like them in the reverse. It's not aesthetic. It's not easy to read. I always want to do resumes so that it's easy for the recruiter to read, because my job is to get you an interview, right? And then I'm going to add my own flair, because flair is what I do. Handled by Natalie Flair. You better ask somebody. But again, we want it to be easy to read. So I might throw a table in there. But I want to be able to address all of the needs and requirements for that job. You have to know the employer, whether or not they're scanning it by hand, whether or not they're going to use an ATS system to scan it. And if I don't know, I'll call and find out. That's very important because it helps you lay out that resume. I know I'm going fast, but I'm trying to cover a lot of information in a little bit of time. It's going to help me determine whether or not I want to do just chronological, functional, or do I want to do a combination. Most of the time, I do a combination. One of the questions they asked me was, how far back do you go? It really depends. There's no such thing as that one page myth. I'm sorry, the one page myth when it comes to resumes. Has been thrown out of the window. The thing that I really love is we are bringing human back to human resources, and they understand that you have gaps in employment because you had to take care of your spouse or family member or yourself. So most of the times when there's a gap of employment, we want to do a functional resume, and that's going to speak to your skill set and take some of the attraction and the focus off of your work history. Chronological is best to display your work history. They asked me how far you should go back. Sometimes the employer will determine that. The type of job may determine that as well. I use as a rule 10 years, unless I'm trying to fill up some space. If you are fresh out of high school, well, you don't have that much other than your skill set, certain courses that you've taken, certain activities you've been a part of, like extracurricular activities, certain organizations. Trust me, I know what to do. So if you need some help, contact me. I have very reasonable fees. I'm a resource coach, but one of the things that I specialize in is employability and helping you get that interview. Um, I use again 10 years as a rule of thumb, but you have some people that have been on jobs for 20 years. So when I address the date range when they started to when they stopped, if they're presently working, we're going to show that, but I won't speak to every job that they've had. You understand what I'm saying? So it is really individualized. And that's why if you have a question, you can contact me. I don't mind asking questions. My email address is natalieharrington@hotmail.com. It's very public. And then you have your federal resumes. That's a whole totally different beast. Um, it doesn't recognize bullets. It doesn't recognize tables. For the actual job that you're applying for, you need to know how that department scans resumes. Whether or not at first it goes to a panel who reviews it by hand, and then they scan it, and then it goes to the hiring manager. So those are the things that you need to know. We're going to have um, your name, your contact information. Please have a very reputable email address. Check your cell phone, check your voicemail. Are you really looking for a job? I think you're looking for a job. So let's make sure you're checking that voicemail and your email as well. We're going to have your skill set, your soft skills, your hard skills, your education, training, certification, your work history. And again, my resumes have handled by Natalie Flair. Often duplicated, and I don't even mind that. That's not the type of person I am. I know I am walking in my purpose. God is a provider. In fact, I'm going to start training people on how to write resumes. As I develop Handled by Natalie and continue to brand it and really walk into it, I got to stop giving everything away. How I make some money. So Trust me, I'm fine. I lack nothing in the kingdom. Let's go ahead. I don't look hungry, do I? So I'm fine. I'm not bragging, but I just want you to know a lot of times, and people get onto me, I give away way more. I just, because I want people to be happy. I want people to be successful. And I do barter sometimes. I do barter. Um, you know, I do your resume, cut my grass, wash my car detail, stuff like that. But after we do that resume, let's go back to the employment search because now we're going to upload our resumes and we want to upload it in a PDF because it does not lose any of the formatting. I don't recommend uploading resumes from smartphones unless you are on a mobile friendly website, and sometimes you can upload a JPEG. But I always go with a PDF because I might be using Word 2016 to create it. You might still be on Word 2009. So when I send it to you, it's going to look crazy. It's going to lose some of the formatting. Make sure if you don't have access to a computer, find out the resources. Go to the library, Department of Labor, Housing. Oftentimes have computers they allow you to utilize your community agencies. And again, make sure you're checking your email, your voicemail, and you follow up. Now, let me leave you with some tips. If you are under the care of a mental health provider, and even just with your support team, make sure that you are sharing your successes with them. That lets them know that what they have put in place and what you have put in place and what you bought into is actually working. Also, share some of the things that you're not so successful with so that you can go back to the plan and that you don't feel like you're overwhelmed. Take some free courses at University of Georgia, the Small Business Development Center has some COVID funding, and you can learn how to write a business plan. They have marketing classes you can take, and they're free. Never have I heard them confirm that you are a resident of the state of Georgia. I don't know if that's a requirement. I didn't see anything in writing. But hey, you don't know unless you try. And then make sure that you follow up when you're applying for jobs because remember, you've already gotten the contact information for the person who's responsible for that particular job posting. So you can reach out to them, you can email them. Positions change, they're here today, going tomorrow. And I'm talking about this is in HR, here today, going tomorrow. So make sure that you're following up, okay? So I hope this helps you. If you need to reach out to me, my sign, you really can't see the phone number, but it's 706-535-3363. My email address, Natalie, Natalie, Harrington, Herrington. Send me an email. I'm here for you. Want to help you get some things done. And I'm working on some things in the CSRA. So be on the lookout. Stay on the page because I probably will start uploading more content. And just know you can do this. You got this. You got it. You got this. You got it. I believe in you. But most importantly, I know you believe in yourself. Thank you. Have a great day.